Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, to the Keel Show. This is Talk Show Tuesday. What in God's name are you doing?
Well, after the quick hits video where gear started flying, I am taking all precautions with you around, and I'm going to wear this helmet for at least today's broadcast or until I seem fit and safe around you for that little Seattle shindig that you had.
Well, I'm not upset.
We're not going into this! I got my bucket. I forgot my shouldies, though, so we're just gonna have to, let's keep it even keel with you, mister. It's my day to rant! Or at least...
Even keel?
Yeah.
Get it?
Yeah.
That's a name.
Knee slapper. Knee slapper!
Oh.
Yeah, I hope that hurt.
Today we'll be talking about... Well, it's halfway through the season of the NHL, and...
Whoa, now wait a second.
Oh, jeez.
We are going to talk about
Okay.
what happened last night.
Uh-huh.
We're going to get into it first. It'll be quick. Maybe. No, okay. So last night...
Timeout! So, before he goes into this rant or whatever, last night, the Toronto Maple Leafs played the Colorado Avalanche, and there was a questionable call made by the referees in relation to a goal, or lack thereof, by one Austin Matthews. It was on Jonathan Bernier. The penalty was allegedly goaltender interference, and this is probably the minute where he's probably going to take 5 minutes just to talk about it. I'm going to drink my coffee and sit back. Time in.
I'm just saying, the goal Austin Matthews scored. It was a goal. They counted it. As a former goaltender, don't mind the bucket. Trust me, I was a former goaltender. I know when I get hit. I have played high school. I've only played very little pro, and I played semi-pro. And guess what? I've been bumped before, and goals still get held up.
You played you played college too.
I played, college. I guess same way to say pro. I played college. I played pro. I played. Anyways, but I'm just saying is the fact that is a goal. Bernier himself looked confused. I'm like, wait, they're going to call it back. Oh, okay, cool. And I'm just saying, like, NHL coaches around the league texted Babcock. Chris Johnson reported on Twitter. Chris Johnson, Inside Reporter, you see him on Hockey Night in Canada, Saturday headlines. He even said, he asked Babcock, and Babcock said that other coaches around the league were texting him, telling him that goal should not have been overturned. I'm just saying, the NHL, we're gonna do that episode eventually. It's gonna happen where we just do an absolute bash fest on the league. Figure out interference. Please figure out interference. If you're gonna hit a guy, if it's a goaltender, if he gets interfered with, and I'm not talking Jonathan Quick because Jonathan Quick flops more than Hasek does. I'm just saying, if it's interference, then it's interference. If he actually interferes with him, if he has to actually make contact. Matthews barely bumped him. And Bernier wasn't even in the play, though. You saw the goal.
I did see the goal.
Bernier's over frickin' hanging out in Brampton. Matthews is in downtown. And guess what happened? The goal went in. I mean, I'm sure Bernier wanted to stay in Brampton half the time, because at some points with Litz, he was no more better than an East Coast goaltender.
Ooh.
Yeah, I said it. But now he's one of the best goaltenders in the league. And Colorado's won 10 in a row. And the Leafs lost.
Again.
Well, no, they're on a one-game losing streak. Now they got Chicago tomorrow night, and then they got Dallas before the All-Star break. Still no Riley, but the Mark Kamar, Marlo Kadri.
Michael Myers?
No, Mark Kamar.
Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch?
No, Mark Kamar.
Oh.
Marlo Kadri Marner. That was the line of practice today to me.
Well, why didn't you say so?
Just trying to get to it. Anyways. And with whatever the heck you wanted to talk about. I don't know what you want to talk about. Okay, I think I'll find out. This is getting scratchy. You hit me, I swear.
No promises. Well, that's enough of that. So, we are halfway through the NHL season.
My hair look good? Okay, we're still good.
Always looks awful, Tyler.
Yeah.
That's okay. We forgive you.
That's why you're wearing a toque. Oh, we're going to have a battle of the
Let me tell you something right now. I wear a toque because it's nice and warm and it's comfy. Is my hair at
the heat's on? We have a heater for a reason.
A lot of your body heat leaves through your head, and man, I want to be toasty. I don't want to
Yeah,
be
maybe
warm.
if you actually
I
had
wanna
hair
be
on your head, you would know.
toasty.
Toasty?
Toasty.
Toasty.
I'm a good player that's got a toasty hair.
No, I talked to your buddies that you played pond hockey with, buddy.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
You don't even know who I played with.
Yeah, his name was Jim.
No.
Dustpan.
Anyways, so it's halfway through the season of the NHL, and we decided, as a collective, that we would talk about both conferences as a whole and what our review is of them. So, as of right now, we are of English blood. We read from left to right. And in the course of North America, let's talk about the West Conference. Are you okay to talk now? I'll take that as yes. So, leading the Western Conference is, ladies and gentlemen, the Vegas Golden Knights.
We've talked about them. If you didn't watch our last video, which should be in the related videos, which should be over there, right?
Somewhere.
There, yeah, over there.
Or just look on the channel.
Yes, on the Kilo Show channel. Yeah. Anyways, but yes. So Vegas has been, they're in that Pacific Division, which usually is an absolute barn burner. However, they have two of the worst teams, three now, with Vancouver finally showing their true colors. Just, like, it used to be this dominant of LA, San Jose. Like, if you had to go in the Pacific, what are you dancing? Are you seriously got the Rey Mysterio song stuck in your head?
No. Vegas is like Tina Turner. They're just rolling on the river.
They're in a desert!
There's some sort of body of water.
Yes,
near
it's
there.
called the fountains and the pools that are in the hotels, but there's no river. I don't know about that. Well, I don't know about that one Pirates one or whatever with like the cannons and the boat and stuff.
Ah, yes, Pirates Cove. Thank you, Miss Congeniality 2.
Not as good as the first one, but a solid sequel.
That's where I thought of it. The Tina Turner. Rolling, rolling.
Anywho, but yeah, so the Pacific Division, but pull up Pacific Division there, Alex. It's just a shocking, just brutal. Once you go past Vegas, San Jose, Calgary is still up there, which is good.
Well, San Jose is 8 points behind, and Calgary is 2 points behind them.
It's so surprising. It's like you want to see, like it's almost like you're waiting for it to happen. You're waiting for the Cinderella. You're waiting for the glass slipper to fall off. You're waiting for midnight to strike. When will that happen? Will it happen?
That's a good point.
Because here's the thing. As of right now, can you pull up the wildcard standings there, Alex?
I would love to.
So pull up the wildcard standings here. I don't have my computer. It's being worked on right now. So they play Colorado. I wouldn't want to play Colorado right now.
I would.
Right now?
Yep.
10 games
even though they're 10 games in.
And even though Bernier is playing like, well...
God.
No, I don't even know. I can never compare this to any part of his career ever.
Jonathan Bernier is playing like Henrik Lundqvist did in his prime. Because he is far out of his prime at this point.
I was about to say, I'm like, what? When I was in high school?
Yeah.
Anyways. But what if they get swept in the first round? What if we have like a thing with Florida? Remember when the Florida played the Islanders? And that how Florida was the favorite. They were the division champs. And they were playing. And the Islanders, it went to 6 games, but wow. That was... I'm just saying, like, I don't know. Like, can Vegas hold on?
If Vegas holds on...
Oh, by the way, we have to correct this. Vegas does not get a lottery pick, a guaranteed lottery pick.
They do not.
They do not. We did figure this out, so they'll be just like, I guess it was just for the first year. So, we just had to make sure that was clear, because I thought that was the deal when they signed on, but I guess not. Anyways, continue.
Well, there's the possibility of the 4...
Well, if they were gonna suck...
The 4 consecutive years of lottery picks, however...
Yeah, 4 consecutive years they were awful, but they're not. However, they have a crap ton of draft picks coming up with all the trades and the expansion draft. But anyways.
Because they were smart. But to go off your topic and answer your question of what happens if Vegas absolutely gets blown out of the water with dynamite in the first round or in the
we went over it. They're in the 10th. Anyways, sorry.
That just gives us more to talk about.
Right.
Because as of right now, Vegas is arguably the best team in the NHL period. Obviously, right now, Tampa is leading the race by 1 point because they played last night and they won.
Vegas was leading the league.
They were
the best team in the National Hockey League. They were the President Trophy running team.
Well, both teams are still in the running.
Well, I mean, like, they were leading. Like, it's
Yes, they were leading.
it's so just kind of scary.
Bizarre.
How bizarre. Anyways, but I like to see. I just in the Pacific, it's just rough because you have. I mean, Arizona. Okay, I'll be honest. I didn't think Arizona was going to be that bad.
I did.
They got Jalmerson step. They tried to build up. They had a solid decor ready to go. You have OEL. You got Jalmerson. Yeah, you brought in Stepan. You brought in Ranta, who played phenomenal when Lundqvist was garbage last year. Like, you have so much to look forward to, and then didn't it take them the longest to win 10 games?
Yep.
And they took them they went 20 games without winning a regulation game. Game in regulation. It was something like that. And then, of course, Edmonton is just... That was my whole fear was like with the Leafs was like, all right, are we going to be like Edmonton where we have a good year and then fall off the cliff? Like, because remember in 2006, Edmonton was bad up until, like, they were just bad, and then they go to 2006 and make it to the finals, and then they were bad, and then last year, and then just this gong show.
I think it doesn't attribute necessarily to the players on the team, because you can bring in as many players as you want. If you could put...
When you're Peter Chiarelli, you bring in your buddies over in Boston and see how that works out. Andrew Ferentz.
Let me tell you. If you play and you're on this dynasty team, you could pick anybody you want, past, present, or future. And say you had a defense of, in his prime, whenever that becomes, Rasmus Dahlin. And then you have, Bobby Orr, right?
You're talking about, wait, what? Wait, no. Where are you going with this?
The point is, doesn't matter who you have on the team. Whether they're good or not, if you don't have good chemistry, and sometimes it just comes down to how you feel that day, what you ate. I'm just saying that the way Arizona's playing, it seems like they're just eating the dirt under their feet. It doesn't matter who they bring in.
I thought we were talking about Edmonton. Did we move on?
Well, Edmonton too. Okay. Well, originally we were talking about Arizona.
Okay, sorry.
Formerly known as Phoenix, but...
Maybe they'll move back, or maybe they'll move to Quebec.
They're not going to move to Quebec.
Pourquoi? Wait, no, that's not.
Pourquoi?
Oh, shit.
Pourquoi?
No, whatever. I get my languages mixed up. I've been here too long. Anyway, but it's just... I get it, but it's like... They shouldn't be bad.
They shouldn't be bad. Well, you're talking about Arizona, or are you talking about Edmonton here?
Edmonton now. I'm sorry. Okay. Moving on to Edmonton. And I think you look at a thing like Cam Talbot could have probably won the Vezina last year. Could have.
No.
He played 70 games. He was, as you can tell, their goaltending, Cam Talbot's not what he was last year, and they're third from the bottom of the West. And it's only because Vancouver has, like I said...
No, they're the third from the bottom from the Pacific. I'm pretty sure they're probably... I want to say that they're probably fourth from the bottom in the West.
Let's see. They're...
Yep, no, they're third from the bottom. Yep, they are the third.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The Pacific Division is probably the weaker division of the two. They are the Atlantic of the Pacific, if that makes sense. Get it? Because the Atlantic's the weaker division, the Pacific's the weaker division.
Needless to say, if you're associated with water, you're going to get sunk. That was a good one. That was a good one. High five myself, no friends.
You should text that to Ron McLean and tell him to use that one. If Don ever talks about water, yes, you should text that to Ron.
If Don talks about water, that means he's going to talk about Newfies, and then he's going to talk about Newfoundland, and then he's going to talk about...
New Brunswick!
No. I was going to say the Royal Air Force. But that too.
Yeah, I'll get to it eventually. Anyways, and of course the Ducks have been... The Ducks are just... And the worst part is I picked the Ducks to be in the... I picked in my preseason picks, I picked Dallas to be my... We'll get to them in a second. We picked Dallas. I picked Dallas being the dark horse, and then I picked Nashville and...
The Ducks.
And because I thought they were going to have a better year, and Gibson was going to play well, and Getzlaf and Corey Perry will still be Getzlaf and Corey Perry, and Kessler would have been
good.
Yeah, let's go with that. That's the four-letter word exactly I would use for Kessler. And I'm just saying, like, they were gonna make it to the final. It'll be Nashville and I keep saying Anaheim, the Ducks. they were going to play each other again, and it would have been a great series because I just felt like
they wouldn't play in the finals.
The conference finals.
Well, yeah, the conference finals, but not the finals.
Ducks will never make it to the finals.
So what I mean, Nashville's in the third position for the
Well,
Western Conference right now.
Well, we're not in the Central yet. We're still in the Pacific. I'm just saying, like,
no, I'm talking as a Western Conference as a general.
I know.
Excuse me. Nashville is third in the Western Conference with 62 points, right behind Winnipeg with 63.
So we're just gonna jump into the Central Division.
No, we're not talking about the Central Division.
I want to get into this because holy cow, like the Central, it's we're gonna talk about this next week when we talk about the East. There is one division in each conference that dominates the conference.
Division.
There's one division that dominates the conference. Is that what I said?
You said division.
Division?
There's one division out
there
that played the good game.
There. I got a special helmet.
I mean, it's right there.
Here now. But no, but like the Central Division is just dominating, and it's the best part is it's not who you'd expect. No, I mean, as someone who's watched Winnipeg for a while now, ever since they came back from Atlanta, I feel like
you mean everybody, but go on.
Not everybody.
Okay, most people.
Anyone in the Central Division now is probably watching it for him is because like you knew that they were one step away. Now Hellebuck is playing well. They're finally getting some defense. Sure, Scheifele's out, but that's not slowing them down. They're tops in the Central, and they're just playing out their minds. So yes, Nashville expected to be there, but did you expect Did you expect Chicago? Chicago is, am I right? Yeah, Chicago is below Minnesota.
Yep.
Did you expect
Chicago is below Anaheim?
Did you expect Chicago? Like Chicago is how many points above?
They are
5 points above Edmonton in the conference.
They are fourth from last.
No. Are we talking about the end of the dynasty? If we can really call it that, but
well,
are we talking about the end?
I'm not gonna say
because they've been ousted in the playoffs the last 2 years in the first round. I'm
not gonna say end of a dynasty because I wouldn't call them much of a dynasty. I would say that between Tampa, Pittsburgh, and Chicago, those three teams have been really running roughshod in the terms of winning Stanley Cups.
Well,
and being very successful.
Tampa's just...
Yeah, Tampa's... Yeah, but needless to say, though, if you look in recent history, those three teams have always popped up as either favorites to win the Cup or people that just won the Cup.
Except for Tampa.
They've just been a favorite to win the Cup. Because they're really good.
And they're playing like it.
Apparently, they're really good.
It's funny how what happens if you just lose one player, though. They lose Stamkos last year and play garbage. Anyways, nonetheless, okay. We'll get to them next week. That's the Eastern Conference, but it's still in the West. But it's like, I mean...
Well, let me finish my point here. I wouldn't say that it's an end of a dynasty. I would just say that the next 2 or 3 years for the Chicago organization is going to be very crucial in the fact that they need to talk about personnel, about who they're going to keep, who they're going to get rid of. How much worth does Kane and Taves still have left in their skates?
Can you pull up Cap Friendly? Because I don't know how many more years they have. So pull up Cap Friendly Chicago. Because they are signed on for so long, and it's just... If the Hawks don't make the playoffs next year, if they don't make it this year and don't make it next year, you're going to see Quenneville out in the market. Okay?
Oh boy.
You're just going to see... And then here's the thing. The best part, it's like, everyone's like, oh my gosh, it's because he's a horrible coach. Like, no, it's just because, guess what? Someone's going to walk over and pick him up. All right, so where we're at here.
So, Patrick Kane is with the most. He's getting paid $10 million.
No, they're both getting 10.5.
Oh, they are getting both getting 10.5.
They're both signed through 2023. So that means... And because that's untradeable. You cannot trade that contract. If just say it happens and they do want to go for a rebuild.
Yeah,
because look at everyone else. Who do you have?
We have Taves, Brandon Sav, Anisimov.
$6 million hockey player. That's garbage.
I mean, Chicago says they're worth it. Chicago's also
Anisimov is not a 4.5 player.
Chicago's also been the team of we have a cap, right?
No.
Wrong.
No.
Yay! Money! Oprah, you get $1 million. You get $1 million.
You get $6 million.
We're going to give you
$4 million.
$925,000.
$3.5 million, Panarin. Like, I'm just saying, it's.
I completely agree with you.
Like,
when
they've screwed themselves.
I'm not saying that they've screwed themselves. They've just mismanaged how many years that they're looking at. Because both Taves and Patrick
franchise
Kane,
players.
Hold on.
They're franchise players.
Stop. Let me talk. My show.
Our show.
The Keel Show. Both Patrick Kane and Jonathan Taves are not unrestricted free agents till 2023. They still got, how many years? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years left until the next season that they're unrestricted free agents.
Question, will either of them ever get another 30-goal season?
No. I would say that...
Phil Kessel for top 100 next 100 hockey players, NHL players of all time.
Phil Kessel, top 10...
Phil the Thrill.
No, Phil Kessel, top 3 players in the NHL that's on the Toronto Maple Leafs payroll.
You want to know the best part?
That he's still a Maple Leaf?
No, that Malkin won't even get on the next 100 somehow.
Malkin's a different... That's a completely different breed of player. Like Malkin, Lucic, that kind of stuff. Where they're...
Lucic?
Yes,
What is this, 2010?
Foreign players with ugly faces that are tall and are starting to fight.
Lucic he's from Vancouver.
He's foreign.
Yeah, I guess, but it counts.
He looks too foreign to be Canadian. Sorry.
He's got a funny looking face. He looks like this. My name is Lucic. I play for Shirley.
I got shoulder pads longer than the Great Wall of China.
My shoulder pads are big enough you can see them from space. Can you see my shoulders? Can you see my neck anymore? I play with McDavid. Bam! I hit a guy.
But no, I think right now the biggest thing for Chicago, if we're going to stay on Chicago for 5 more seconds, I think the biggest things for them is that Duncan Keith, Patrick Sharp, and who is the other one I wanted to talk about? Jeff Glass. Those are 3 people that free up your cap space that are unrestricted free agents.
Keith? Wait, this is Keith last year in his contract?
Yes.
Wait, where do you...
Where is he? Duncan Keith. Yep.
No.
Oh wait, no, never mind. Who was I looking at?
Who were you looking at?
I was looking at Jan Ruta.
No, you weren't even looking at the right guy. I was supposed to say Duncan Keith is signed on until 2023 as well.
Okay.
I get it. Like, you want to sign your core players, but how good can your core players keep being your core? Like, how good can they stay being your core players? Like, if you're a Hawks fan right now, first of all, remember Jocelyn Tebow? Remember how good of a goaltender he was? Anyways, yeah, you remember when Jason Williams was the leading scorer? Remember when Kyle Calder was the can't miss prospect? Yeah, real Hawks fans remember.
I'm not a real Hawks fan.
I remember him, of course, because I follow hockey. But I'm just saying, whenever someone says they're a Hawks fan, I'm like, oh yeah, do you remember the 2006 season when you guys finished like last in the Central?
Maybe that's what'll happen.
Maybe they go to rock bottom.
Maybe every 8 to 10 years they'll just funk.
Well, that's what's happened. I mean, let's be honest. Straight up, like the years between Chelios and Kane, that's a long time, eh?
That is a long time.
That's like 8 years. But that between those 2 times, Taves was first, but then Kane. That's how they got
one after the other. Like you waited 5 seconds, then Kane. So like, I'm here too.
It was like the Oilers. The Oilers tried to be like the Hawks, and it didn't work out so well. But it's just like how at what point does their rebuild start? We're always talking about rebuilds with teams right now, especially good teams. Like people are talking about LA's rebuild last year. Like they're bad. They're gonna be rebuilding. Well,
they're playing crap right now.
Well, as of late, I mean, it's like I said, it's a wild west. But
I mean, even Los Angeles is behind Calgary.
Calgary's
not doing so good. But we're not talking about Calgary right now. I'm just saying in relation to.
Mike Smith has been the reason why Calgary's been so good. Mike Smith's getting fired up. Kingston boy. Oh, sorry, I went down cherry there.
Kingston boy.
He's good. He gets fired up. He brings the team together and thumbs up. And
he's a good player.
Prohibition Budweiser sponsors this. Yeah, that's a different.
Okay?
I went there. Yeah, I did. I had to.
Where were we going with this?
Calgary.
Rebuilds. That's what it was. But no, I would say to answer your question of when Chicago has to start their rebuild, I think it's going to be a 3-year process.
If they don't make the playoffs this year and they don't make it next year,
it's going to be a 3-year process for them because of
you can't buy
how
anyone
many restricted free agents versus unrestricted free agents is that they will have for the not this upcoming year but the next upcoming year.
How long is Seabrook signed till?
Seabrook is signed till
Can it keep going?
The
screen doesn't even go that far.
Past 2023
or 2024. Like it ends there. Cap friendly ends there. Like, or maybe click him. Actually, no. Click his profile. It does like the team screen and Seabrook keeps going.
Brent Seabrook.
Let's keep going. Or 2024. Or maybe that's his. Okay, wait. Keep going. Okay, so that is his.
I don't even know.
So 2024. Seabrook is signed for longer than Kane, Taves, and Keith. Who is his agent? Because maybe I can get a deal with like a journalist company or something. Because if that guy can talk a Brent Seabrook contract to go through for how many $1 million?
I would say probably just
no. How much money is Seabrook making? 6 point something.
6.875.
That's his cap hit.
Yeah.
I want that guy as my agent because I'm pretty sure he can at least get me a job with like sports or even the Score. He can give me a job with the Score. The Score, for all you Americans out there, is like there's Sportsnet, TSN, and then there's the Score. It's like, well, Elliot Friedman started on that, and Tim and Sid started on that. Everyone writes for them. I've looked at their writers page. It's got more people than probably more people than our graduating class. More people than Town of Lucknow. Shout out to Lucknow.
Right now, Chicago has first-round picks in the next 3 years. They have second-round picks in 2019 and 2020.
They've done a good job of keeping all their picks for the most part. Unlike some teams like Montreal and Los Angeles. And
in those situations, you're trading picks for players now. They're not looking to rebuild. They're looking to win now.
Well, that's what's so surprising is that they don't give up picks. I mean, are they going? They haven't shown any signs of going for it. They got Duclair for what was it, Panik?
I don't even remember.
It's not
but like
it's not really a buying trade. Like, it doesn't seem like they're even trying to go for anything right now.
They're not trying.
They're not selling.
I think their biggest thing right now, and like I said, it's going to be a 3-year process, and I feel bad for Chicago Blackhawks fans.
No,
I don't.
No, you don't. Don't.
This is a personal opinion. I don't like your team, but for
Lemon Eyes is good though. I like Luz. Luz is good.
Deep dish.
Sosky.
Where was I going with this?
Hold on.
Where was I going with
this? Quick shout out to Soskin. Gino's East. It's not that good.
Where was I going with this?
Luz is so much better. 3-year process. You feel bad for Hawks fans for some reason.
Yes. So it's gonna be a 3-year process. It's gonna suck. You're just gonna sit there and you're just like, well, got 2 years left.
At least it won't be 7 years.
Hey, only got 1 more year left. All right.
Well, here's the thing. That's going to happen after they start selling.
You're
still going to have Kane and Taves.
I'm saying that they're going to be selling at the end of this season. This trade deadline, they're going to make a couple moves. They're not going to make a bunch of moves, but they're going to be setting up for the rebuild that they have.
Sell. I don't think they're
not going to sell a lot.
It's too early for them to sell. They're going to, if they buy, it's going to be like.
No.
They're going to buy a third line.
Let me finish.
Okay.
Chicago is in a state where it's going to be 3 years, like I said, before you interrupt.
3 years until they're bad, or 3 years until
3 years of rebuilding and developing the team.
But when? That was my first question. When is it going to happen? It'll be 3 years of rebuild, sure.
The trade deadline this year is. I'm going to say that's going to be the kickoff. They're going to make a couple moves, depending on who it is. I don't know who they're going to.
Who can you sell? Who can you sell?
I can't really say who you're going to... I mean, they might take out a player like David Kampf, Nick Schmaltz. I mean, players like that.
Conditional sevenths?
I mean, it's a possibility.
You have no one. Here's the difference then. They're trying to be like Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh has been able to keep guys like Balkin, Crosby.
Everyone wants to be like Pittsburgh. Are you kidding me?
But, however, they've been able to surround themselves with good talent around them.
Exactly.
And the Hawks had that. They had Panarin. But Kane and Taves like, well, if we're going to play here for another 7 years, we want our buddy Brandon back.
Exactly.
And that's what their downfall is. Now you're letting the inmates run the asylum.
Exactly. That's the point.
We know how that ended for WCW.
Yeah, NWO. Congratulations.
The wrestling.
I don't like this guy. I think that he doesn't have a lot of potential. You know what? Let's bring Stink back. Let's keep him going.
Oh, no, what's wrong with Sting?
Yeah, he fell off.
Anyways. Sorry, I had to go on that tangent.
So, yes, everyone wants to be like a team like Pittsburgh. Everyone wants to be a team like Vegas now. Where you have...
You mean get your pick at whatever you want?
Exactly!
You get Marc-Andre Fleury. That's all right.
You have a couple key players and you build around them. You got James Neal, build around him. You got Fleury, build around him.
Derek England. I'm kidding. No.
But at the
I just love saying it because
at the same
he's
time,
like a big player for them.
So every team, the formula is to get a couple key players and then build around them. But as soon as your key players go out, then you have to build around somebody else. I think that's one of the things that a couple teams are going through right now. Your Edmontons, your Chicagos, those kind of players.
Edmonton's going to be awful.
Where you've set up an entire offensive style of play and an entire set of defensive play to surround your goalie and a couple of key players that you have. That's what I'm saying, is that their key players aren't key players anymore. Patrick Kane's not... He is a good player. I wouldn't say he's a key player anymore. I'd say that Taves is a good player. I'm not saying he's a key player.
He's a good leader.
He's a great leader.
He's Captain Serious.
Just like how I think Henrik Zetterberg he's a relatively good leader. I know you have a couple words to say about that, but from what I can tell and what I can hear from locker room reports, that he's not the worst, he's not the best, but he's a good one. He's a good leader. He sets an example. He's hardworking. He goes into the gym. He does what he's got to do, and he's like an uncle. He's not your dad because you're not related to him, but he's kind of like your uncle, where you're like, "What are you doing?" "Oh, I like that idea. I'm going to take that."
I don't mean to interrupt you, Alex, but I used to say these same things about one Dion Phaneuf back in the day.
Yeah, well, then he got traded, and now he plays for a team that sucks.
So Zetterberg's going to Arizona, and then Datsuk's making a comeback, and then Pronger's concussions will be fine, and you're gonna have a super team.
Bring back Eric Lindros.
No, Lindros is fine. You're gonna have Pronger and Datsuk and Zetterberg, and they're gonna lead him, and Kovalchuk's gonna get traded from Jersey's rights, and he's gonna go to Arizona, and Toronto will be great, and then they're gonna win.
And they're gonna dig freaking Chris Chelios and Todd Bertuzzi out of their fucking graves.
Where are you going? Where are you coming from with this?
We're talking about players that they're just bringing back from the fucking dead. Datsuk and Kovalchuk.
Meh. But yeah, I'm just saying.
What?
I'm just saying it's a bad idea. I'm just saying it's a bad idea. But anyway, so long.
Nobody said it was a good idea.
But anyways, but I don't know. It's the writing's on the wall in Chicago.
Writing's on the wall in Edmonton.
Dallas is still my dark horse.
I don't think Dallas goes anywhere.
You know what? You never know.
Ben
Bishop is doing all right. Kari Lehtinen is doing what I said he was going to do before the season. He's going to not have a rebirth, but with all the pressure off him now, I think he'll be a lot more calm and relaxed. And St. Louis is still there.
He'll be calm and relaxed for how long though? As soon as he gets the pressure put back onto him.
That's why Bishop's the starter. That's why they signed Bishop. So yeah, the West it's pretty.
Lehtinen's a fringe starter at best. He's
Lehtinen or Bishop?
Lehtinen.
Well, yeah, he played. Well, yeah, you remember when he was in Atlanta?
Yeah, he's not bad. He's not bad, but he's the kind of goalie that. All right.
Atlanta finished 7th above the Islanders.
Yeah.
And the Leafs in 2007. Yeah, I remember that too.
They used to be
shootouts are stupid.
They used to be kind of good. Hey, look at that.
Anywho, so yeah, the West is pretty shaping up to be an interesting little race there.
I don't even want to say it's a race. It's just. It's not a race. It's more of.
Who's gonna survive?
You got a good couple of men, and then you have the rest.
Who's gonna survive the Dust Bowl?
I think Vegas, Nashville for sure. Winnipeg, I'm not sure.
Come on, Winnipeg! I want 16,000 whiteout. I want Winnipeg versus Toronto. You talk about an absolute war on Twitter. That will be it. Actually, that'd be Edmonton.
Yeah.
But obviously, Edmonton's.
How many teams?
They're in the ground like the rigs are. Oh yeah, up top. Woo! There it is. Woo!
Well, actually, Ty, you're the hockey insider fool. How many teams will they take from the West for the playoffs? Like 4, something like that.
What?
Team like for the playoffs.
Wait, like 8?
Like 8 teams. All right, I'm going to list off my 8, and then you're going to list off your 8. How about that? That's how we'll finish off this episode, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
So my 8 to go to the playoffs. I'm going to go from the top down. So I'm going to say.
You're just going to read the 8 names.
No, I'm actually not. I'm going to say Vegas goes to the playoffs.
Here, pull up the wild card first. Pull up the wild card picture, because obviously, like I said, the Central is the dominating division. Okay, there we go.
So
scroll up.
I'm just looking at the Western Conference and I'm going down.
Okay.
I'm saying Vegas makes the playoffs absolutely no matter what. I don't even care. I say
they're going to sell at the trade deadline. They're trading James Neal. It's going to happen.
They trade James Neal.
George McPhee has got a plan. He didn't expect the team to be good.
Vegas is going to the playoffs. Nashville's going to the playoffs. I'm going to say St. Louis goes to the playoffs.
They'll survive.
San Jose goes to the playoffs. And I'm going to finish off with Colorado, Minnesota, and somehow, someway, Calgary.
You got one more.
And did I say Dallas yet?
No.
Dallas.
Dallas will be your 8th seed?
Dallas will be my 8th seed. I feel like they're going to have a rough second half of the season.
Hey, man. 8 seeds have won the cup before. All right, pull up the wildcard stands for me, because I need to see the wildcard stands. All right, now scroll up a little bit. All right, so my 8 will be... You got to keep going up. All right, there we go. So I say Winnipeg holds on. They will not win the division, though. I think Smashville turns it around and wins the division. So there you go. St. Louis will hold on. Vegas will, but they... I don't know if they'll win the division. Yeah, do I want to pick Calgary? Calgary is such a hard pick because I want them to. Because, like I said, always want the Canadian teams all to make it. The way they've been playing, it's so tough. Sorry, I just had to scroll down a little bit. Dallas. I got to keep with Dallas because they're my pick. I think Dubnyk turns it around late and brings Minnesota. LA will come in.
You think LA will be in there?
Yeah, I think LA will. Well, they just have to win a few games. Jonathan Quick has to do his thing, and Doughty just has to stop thinking about signing with someone else.
Which he won't.
Yes, he will.
Toronto's going to get Doughty.
Toronto's going to get Doughty for $4 million. Matthews for 8. Anyways, did I say Minnesota? Yes, I did.
Yes, you did.
I said LA. Colorado or Calgary? Oh my gosh. Well, if it was today, Colorado. But
10 straight.
I'm gonna go with Calgary. I'm gonna stick with Calgary on this one. I you know what? For some reason, it's always funny. I used to always kind of be Edmonton towards, with the Battle of Alberta. But that was when Calgary actually used to kind of make the playoffs and Edmonton was garbage.
Yeah.
And you know what?
You had a soft spot for them.
I've always kind of like, the Battle of Alberta is fun because it's two teams that, they're cool. Let them beat the heck out of each other and let's watch it on the nightcap for Hockey Night Canada. That's the only reason why I loved watching it.
That's true.
So I think Calgary makes it. They'll squeak in. I mean, how many points are between them and Colorado's at the second team. So how many points between Colorado and Calgary right now? Scroll up. No, just scroll up. Right there.
Between Colorado and Calgary, a point.
Oh, I forgot Colorado's in the Central. Well, who's the next West? So go back to the other one. So what's the next Pacific team? Los Angeles. How many points does LA have? 50.
LA has 55. They're
Calgary
down by
has
1 point.
56. Okay, I forgot Colorado's in the Central now. I gotta keep remembering that. So like I said, Central's the dominating conference or the division in the conference, and we'll talk about the other dominating division in another conference next week.
Yep. Next week on the talk show Tuesday, you will see.
We're gonna go Jerry Reed style. Eastbound down, loaded up and trucking. We gonna do this. Can't be done.
You done? Because I am.
No, but Alex,
Ladies and
we're
gentlemen.
not done yet. We've got a long way to go. And a short time to get there. I'm eastbound and watch on Bandit run.
Well, I know I'm the only one that can do it, but I'm shutting down.
That's my invisible computer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this was the West Conference recap halfway through the season. Alex Keel, Tyler Keel, The Real Keel Show. See you next time.